What's up, Baller Nation? Augie Johnston here with BallerBootCamp.com, and in today's video I'm going to be breaking down Rip Hamilton's game, talking about his career a little bit, and talk to you about what made Rip Hamilton such a great player. So if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. I release videos about basketball, all tailored to trying to help you become better players. And if you're not new, make sure you crush that like button right now. Let's get this video to 1,000 likes. Okay, so first let's talk a little bit about Rip Hamilton's background. So if you're a youngster, you don't probably know too much about him. He just recently retired actually, but he did a lot of great things for the game, played the game the right way. So let's talk a little bit about where he's from. So Richard Hamilton, aka Rip Hamilton, he played his college ball for UConn from 1996 to 1999. While there, he was able to win a national championship in a season where he earned the most outstanding player of the year for the NCAA tournament, where he was averaging over 24 points per game in the tourney. Also, he was a first team All-American. And if you don't remember, in that national championship game, they defeated Duke, and Rip Hamilton scored 27 points, had 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he's actually the second all-time leading scorer at UConn. So he was drafted in 1999 by the Wizards, where he actually was able to play a season with Michael Jordan, if you guys remember when Michael Jordan was on the Wizards, before being traded to the Pistons. In the same year that they picked him up, they also picked up Chauncey Billups, they already had Ben Wallace, and they also picked up Tayshaun Prince. So that was a nice little 4-man unit, really good defensively as well. And so now they were finally set up to have some success. So he played there from 2002 to 2011 actually. And with that team, they were actually able to make it all the way to the conference finals. But unfortunately, they were swept by the Nets. But the next year, they made a great move. They picked up Rasheed Wallace, as crazy as he was, and they were able to make it to the finals and beat the Lakers in the finals to win the championship. And that year in the playoffs, Rip Hamilton, he averaged 21.5 points per game, which was huge for his career because it was on the big stage and he did it when it mattered the most. And the next year, they made it all the way to the finals, really hoping for a repeat. They were really playing and depending on their defense. That's kind of what they were known for. But unfortunately, they had to play the Spurs in the finals and they ended up losing. But it was really cool to see that finally teams in the NBA were starting to play defense, and it was showing that defense did actually equate to winning championships, and it was all because of that Detroit Pistons team. So over the next few seasons, they still had a great team. They went to 3 more conference finals, and Rip Hamilton actually had his career high in one of those seasons, which was 51 points, which is something that only pretty much superstars are able to achieve by scoring over 50 points. So it was great for him. But then slowly but surely, the team was kind of getting dismantled. Chauncey Billups was traded for Allen Iverson. Ben Wallace left to go to the Bulls. So it just really wasn't the same team. And in the 2010-2011 season, Hamilton, he actually had a few issues with the coach. And although the Pistons fired the coach, they decided to buy out his contract, and he actually became a free agent. So he played for the Bulls from 2011, 2013. He was injured a little bit throughout that time. That was when D Rose had his first injury as well. So it just wasn't really that great of years there for him. And in 2013, the Bulls actually declined their team option. They had a team option for the 3rd year of his contract to re-sign him or not, and they decided not to. And he became a free agent once again, and then a year later in 2015 he decided to announce his retirement, and that's basically where his career ended. A great career where he was able to win a championship, unlike so many other players like Barkley and Malone, and who weren't able to actually get that one. It was just one, but that one means a lot. And it wasn't like he was on a team where he was riding the bench and he was in his older age and won it. He was in his prime. They won the championship because of his contributions. And also, you know, having a career high of 51 points. And basically he averaged, 18 to 20 points a game throughout his entire career, and was never one of those kind of Carmelo type players or Kobe type players that was just basically a gunner on the court. So an awesome career. And now let's take a look at how he was able to be such a great scorer when really he didn't really have any kind of crazy handles, and he didn't really have that great of a 3-point jumper, but really he's known as a shooter. So let's go ahead and break it down. I'm gonna show you a few of the things that he did to be one of the best scorers of his era in the best league in the world. So Rip is known for his shooting. He's a mid-range assassin. So what I mean by that is he really utilized the mid-range game. And what he's known for is his ability to move without the ball. So there's different ways to move without the ball. But the first way we're gonna look at, and I think this is like one of the most important things to becoming a good player. What do you do when you don't have the ball in your hand? Because 90% of the time you don't have the ball, right? Someone else has it. Now you need to be able to put yourself in a position that when you do get the ball, you're able to score easily without having to take dribbles or do all that kind of stuff. Another part of moving without the ball is using screens. Now this is probably the #1 thing that he did well. Yes, it's an element of moving without the ball, but it's just a different part of moving without the ball. And if you're able to use screens correctly and shoot the ball well at a high percentage, then really, no, you're unguardable, right? Because there's no way that you can guard a screen 100% correctly every time. Sometimes you're gonna get screened, and if you can catch and shoot off that screen, then you are a weapon.
Brook Lopez, who's not off to a great start for the Nets. And you've got Bynum, you've got Hibbert in Indiana, who's not off to a great start. Right now, who's playing the most consistent is Joakim Noah, if you look at the numbers. Leading this Bulls team.
Another thing that he did pretty well is that he posted up as a guard. Now maybe he learned this from playing with Jordan for a little bit, or maybe just watching Jordan, but he was pretty good at posting up, and every time he posted up, he didn't shoot the ball. He also was a great passer out of the post, which I think is a super underrated thing and something that isn't really talked about enough, because when you pass from outside the post to a shooter, it's a lot easier to make the pass coming from the inside out, almost like a shooting drill. And not only could he pass, but he could score out of the post, and that's another thing he used to score that ball. Now off of the dribble, he wasn't too fancy with it, but one thing that he did a lot was a hesitation into his jump shot. That was one of the main moves that he used once he had the ball and had to score off of the bounce. And finally, like all great shooters, he really utilized the shot fake. If you guys watch guys like Steph Curry, about half of his three-pointers are shot fakes and guys falling for shot fakes, him using the dribble and pulling up and knocking down a jumper. So Rip Hamilton, he was known for his jumper. The defense did not want to let him get that shot off, so they would fall for those shot fakes all the time, and that's what he was able to use as a quick, easy move to create separation or to get the defense up in the air so he could go by and get into his shot. Alright guys, I hope you guys liked that video. If you did, crush that like button for me. Let's get this video to 1,000 likes. Also, if you're new, make sure you guys subscribe. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what other kind of players or moves you want me to break down, and I'll go ahead and bring those videos right to you. Also, most importantly, head over to ballerbootcamp.com. There's a link on the screen right now that you can click, or the first link in the description. Head over there and I got a free workout for you that you can download, print out, take to the gym and follow to improve your shooting, improve your ball handling, and take your game to the next level. Alright guys, I hope to see you inside that workout.